everyone, and welcome back to In the Kitchen with Karen. So does anybody know what the most popular cookie is in America? If you guessed chocolate chip, you'd be right. So I've been looking for a long time now for the holy grail of chocolate chip cookie recipes, and I think I finally found it. So today we are going to make brown butter chocolate chip cookies. It takes your regular recipe up about 10 notches and you're going to love it. It's easy to make. The hardest part is browning the butter, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's get started. This part is going to take a little patience. It's going to take anywhere from about 4 to 5 minutes for the butter to start browning. So just keep an eye on it, and pretty soon you're going to see it start changing color. So brown butter is very versatile. You can use it for butter for more than just cookies too. It's great over roasted vegetables, a pasta dish like a gnocchi, which I have a video coming up real soon of that, so stay tuned for that. And it just gives everything that you would normally put melted butter on kind of an elevated taste. Now, I've never tried it on popcorn before, but it might be good that way. So give it a try. You have to be careful, because if you go even 10 seconds too long, you're going to have a big pot of burned butter, and we don't want that. See, we're just stirring the butter, and it's going to get nice and foamy. So don't have the heat up too high, or you could possibly have it run over the sides of the pan. And pretty soon, you're going to see it start changing color from a really light brown to more of a golden brown, which is what we're looking for. Hey guys, look at this. I think we're just about there. I'm going to try to hold it up on a spoon so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so we are there. Now I'm going to pour it in this glass so that you can see what it's supposed to look like. It should be a nice golden brown. You don't want it any darker than this, because if it is, it can give your cookies a bitter taste. We're going to put this in a container and refrigerate it for, it's probably going to take an hour or so. It doesn't have to be rock hard, but you want it to be solid, so that it will incorporate well with the sugar. Yeah. So let's get started on making our cookie dough. Now I'm going to give you a little tip on how to properly measure flour. What you don't want to do is stick the measuring cup in the canister and then level it off with a knife, because what happens is you're compacting the flour. The best way to measure flour is to lightly scoop it in a measuring cup. And this way you're never going to get too much flour in your recipe, because that can change the whole recipe. And then just level it off like that, and that's how you properly measure flour. So in this bowl I have 2 3/4 cups of flour already measured. Our next ingredient we're going to use is 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Half a teaspoon of salt. Then we just want to give that a good stir. So we have our melted and cooled brown butter in a mixing bowl. So this is how it should look. It should be soft, but not too, you don't want it too hard, or else it's not going to mix well with the sugar. Now to the butter, we are going to add 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. Now we're going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. Now we're going to take our mixer. We're going to add 2 large eggs. And continue mixing until it's smooth. You want to add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. On low speed, we are going to gradually add our flour mixture to the butter and sugar mixture. This looks good. Now we're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl just to make sure everything's nice and incorporated. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells amazing. Okay, now our last step is time to add the chocolate chips. So what we're going to do is add a package of chocolate chips, but we're going to take out about a 1/4 cup of them to save to put on top of the cookies before they bake. Now, I know a lot of people like Toll House chocolate chips, but I find the Guittard are the absolute best as far as chocolate chips go. Now we're going to chill this dough in the refrigerator for 1 hour. Our dough has been in the refrigerator. It's been chilling about an hour, and now it's time to form our cookie dough balls on our cookie sheet. What I like to use on my cookie sheet are these Reynolds parchment papers. They're already pre-cut to fit the size of a pan, but you can just get a roll of parchment paper, or if you don't have any parchment paper, you can definitely line the pan with foil, and that will work just fine too. So when I'm forming my cookies, I like to use a scoop. This scoop is about a tablespoon. So we want our cookies to be, fairly large. I know a lot of recipes call for like a teaspoon of dough, but for this recipe, we're using a tablespoon. So, and I like the scoop because all the cookies come out the same size. So I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and these are going to take 10 to 12 minutes. Now I like a cookie that is a little bit gooey inside, so I like to cook it for 8 to 9 minutes. But if you like a little bit of a browner cookie, a little more crispy, you can cook it a minute or 2 longer. So now after we've done this, what I like to do is take some extra chocolate chips and just put a couple on each dough ball. This way, when it bakes, you're gonna get some nice looking chips that are gonna be on the top. Okay, so these are ready to go. So our cookies have been baking for exactly 8 minutes, and this is how they came out. Now this is the exact amount of brownness that I like on my cookies. If you notice, the edges are just a little bit brown and the top as well, but the inside is still going to be nice and soft. Now feel free, if you like to add nuts to your cookies, I forgot to mention that. You can add a 1/2 cup of walnuts or pecans to your cookies. But just for this batch, I made them nut-free. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really hope you give this recipe a try. It's really a game changer. I know your friends and family are gonna love it, and I will see you on the next episode of In the Kitchen with Karen.